Today, we're going inside the factory and following England's 2026 home kit from raw thread to finished shirt.
It all starts with the approved design file. Every stitch, every color code, every millimeter locked in.
4 exact colors, no guesswork. Nike's color spec sheet is treated like law on this factory floor.
Today's target, 12,000 units. Let's see how they do it.
The main body fabric is a high-performance recycled polyester, soft, lightweight, breathable, and engineered to move with the body.
This isn't ordinary fabric. Nike's dry-fit ADV technology means the weave itself pulls sweat away from skin in milliseconds. Before any cutting happens, every batch of fabric gets a manual inspection. One flaw in the raw material means a flaw in the final product. The navy blue fabric, used for the collar lining, sleeve cuffs, and side panel detailing, arrives separately and is tracked individually.
That red stripe you see running down the side of the shirt? It starts right here in TEP as a separate fabric component entirely.
Fabric has memory. If you cut it while it's still tense from the roll, the pieces shift shape after cutting. So every sheet rests for at least 2 hours first. 80 layers of fabric at once. That's 80 jerseys cut in a single pass. Precision stacking that would take a human worker hours. Even with automation, human eyes catch what sensors miss. This alignment check is done every single time, no exceptions.
Before any blade touches fabric, a computer solves the most efficient cutting puzzle, reducing waste by up to 15% compared to manual layouts.
This cutting machine moves at over 800 millimeters per second, and every cut matches the CAD file to within half a millimeter. A razor-sharp oscillating blade, not scissors, not a laser. This specific blade creates the cleanest edge on performance polyester.
The red side panel is a geometric curve, wider at the hip, tapering toward the armhole. The curve has to be...
Every cut component gets sorted, counted, and bundled. If any piece count is off, the whole bundle gets flagged before it moves forward. The collar is one of the most technically complex pieces. That navy V-neck with layered trim detailing, it's actually built from multiple smaller components. Every bundle gets a digital ID. The factory system can track any jersey back to the exact roll of fabric it came from, even after it's been sold. The sewing floor. This is where those flat fabric pieces become an actual shirt. Over 200 operators work this room on a single shift. The red side panel is joined using a flat lock stitch knout. The seam lies totally flat against the skin. No ridges, no rubbing. That stitch pattern isn't just strong, it stretches with the fabric. A player sprinting at full speed generates enormous force through the shoulder seam is one of the jersey's stress points. An overlock stitch here provides strength in multiple directions, crucial for aerial challenges and physical play. Attaching a sleeve to a jersey body is one of the hardest sewing tasks in sportswear. That curved armhole has to be eased in perfectly, or the shoulder of the shirt won't sit right. Those sleeve cuffs, navy blue with the red and white stripe, are assembled as a separate unit before they ever touch the main jersey. The cuff is attached with a double needle stitch. You can see it as 2 parallel lines on the finished shirt. It keeps the cuff from twisting or rolling up. The collar alone requires 5 separate sewing steps before it's ready to attach. The layered trim detail inside. Attaching the collar is done at reduced speed. The V-point at the front has to be perfectly centered. A millimeter off is visible to anyone watching.
The final side seams close the jersey into a tube. The machine operator adjusts tension as she goes.
The hem finish looks simple, but it's critical for the jersey's drape and length. Too short a stitch and it curls. Too long and it waves. That small woven badge at the hem carries care instructions, size, and certification information, all woven directly into the label fabric, not printed.
At the end of the sewing line, every single jersey gets a manual hold and check. If anything pulls, gaps, or puckers, it comes off the line immediately.
The 3 lions crest isn't printed, it's embroidered. This room runs 24 hours a day just to keep up with badge production. Before the machine touches a single thread, the entire crest is programmed digitally, over 47,000 individual stitches, mapped by a specialist.
Watch the needles. Each color change happens automatically. The machine cuts the thread, changes to the next color, and continues without stopping.
That single gold star. England's only World Cup title versus 1966. 6 years later...
Every embroidered crest gets inspected under magnification. Thread skips, color bleeds, or density variations are grounds for rejection.
The Nike swoosh on the left chest isn't sewn, it's heat bonded. A precision press at exact temperature and pressure.
The crest is first heat bonded in place, giving the operator time to verify exact positioning, before the edges are lock-stitched permanently. That lock stitch around the crest edge means it will survive washing at any temperature, repeated stretching, and the physical punishment of professional football.
The first complete jersey of the batch. Everything the factory has done in the last several hours lives in this single shirt.
Every measurement is checked against Nike's master spec sheet. A size medium has 37 exact measurements that must all fall within a 5mm tolerance.
A jersey that looks perfect under factory lighting might look wrong under stadium floodlights. This light box test simulates 7 different lighting conditions.
The side seam pull test applies 30 kilograms of force, roughly the load on a jersey seam when a player is physically held during a match. It has to hold.
5 jerseys from every production batch go straight into a wash cycle, not to be cleaned, but to be tested.
Nothing about this shirt's layout is left to human judgment at this stage. A laser camera system confirms every badge and logo position matches the approved layout file.
Rejection isn't failure, it's the system working correctly. Any jersey that doesn't pass gets tagged, reworked, and re-inspected. Nothing ships with a defect.
When that approval stamp lands, it means every jersey in this batch has been checked, verified, and cleared. 12,000 shirts, ready to ship. Before packaging, every jersey passes through a steam press tunnel. The high-temperature steam sets the fabric and removes any handling creases accumulated during assembly.
Even folding is automated. Consistent folding means consistent packaging. Every jersey takes up exactly the same space in the box, making logistics calculable to the last centimeter.
The poly bag isn't just presentation. It protects the jersey from humidity, dust, and handling damage throughout the entire global shipping journey.
12 jerseys per box. Every box labeled with its exact contents and destination. The warehouse management system knows where every single jersey is headed before the box is sealed.
Once sealed, boxes enter the automated warehouse system. From this point, no human hands touch a box until it arrives at its destination. The jerseys bound for the UK, Europe, and global markets load into separate containers. From factory floor to the back of a shipping container in under 6 hours. Those doors closing mark the end of the factory's job, and the beginning of a journey that might cover 10,000 miles before a fan finally holds their shirt. Every container is GPS tracked in real time. Nike's supply chain team monitors temperature, humidity, and location from factory to retail floor.
6 weeks after leaving that factory floor, this shirt is here. And somewhere out there, the player who'll wear the real version. 12,000 stitches, 4 colors, 5 quality checks, 1 shirt. This is how England goes to war. See you at the World Cup.